So, who who was DC Assault? Who was that team when y'all was in that road? Like, man, we got these jokers today. Man, we got you gave an extra pep talk too, man.
Well, back when we first started, man, team out of New York, Riverside Church, and man, I mean, they would mercy rule us, man. Like
Oh yeah,
if you down by 20 with like 2 minutes left, they stop the game.
yeah.
It's like every year they would mercy us, man. They were really good. It was a team out of New Orleans Jazz. They had like Chris Duhon and Maurice Mo the little god played in the league a long time.
I'm not talking about.
He went to Alabama,
Eddie come to me.
but we couldn't beat them. We probably 0-3 to them. We couldn't,
Right.
you know.
Couldn't do that with them.
Nah, they always got us. They found a way.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I would say those were the only two teams that really had our number.
Right.
You know, and we ended up beating Riverside Church, probably low 2000s. You know, early 2000s. We ended up getting them.
But in the '90s, y'all had that. They had your number.
Yeah, in the early 90s. Then I think we ended up getting them probably about 98.
Right.
90, yeah.
So what's the other team on there? Was it Gauchos or something? Or
Gauchos.
So they were strong with them at that time.
But they were a Nike. Yeah, I think Riverside Church was the strongest of
Right,
New York.
okay.
But, I mean, they had, you know, I mean, one year, I mean, we had a mob. Delonte Hill, Mark Kocher, Sheik, Attila Cosby, Kevin Lyde. I had Bogans and DeMar DJ coming off the bench. They mercy rulers. But they had Elton Brand, Ron Artist, Eric Barclay. Well, Lamar was with he started with Riverside, but then he ended up leaving though,
Right.
and then he ended up playing with someone else. But he played my guy Gary Charles, but we beat Lamar's team, Lamar Khalid Alameen.
Right.
We beat them.
Oh, okay, yeah. They told me, they said when y'all beat Lamar team, I guess in Baltimore somewhere.
Yeah.
They said that kind of spread the head of Sonny and all that.
Yeah,
Caught
yeah.
on that.
Gary Charles, who run the Panthers program, asked us, could we please get on the phone with Sonny Vaccaro? And, you know, of course, from there, Mike Brown cut the deal.
Oh yeah, Mike.
You know? So,
Negotiator,
next
man.
thing you know, we flying to Adidas, man, to the meeting, man, and, you know, Mike, you know, man, Mike gonna get to the chase, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it was good.
Oh, okay. And yeah, they said y'all beat them. They said they was loaded too. Y'all beat them up there in Baltimore.
Baltimore, yeah,
Turn
that was
up there
good.
and all that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. What's one of the players on your program, man, that you secretly just voted for? That you wanted to see them win just because they play so hard. They, you know, was just a great kid. You wanted to just see get to the next level. You had any special ones like that that wasn't a blue chipper, but they was on the cuff.
Well, I don't think I really had anyone in particular. You know, of course, the kids that came from rougher circumstance, you know, rougher environments and tough homes, and you know, the kids like a Frank McQueen. Of course, I gave more to certain guys. You know, but it wasn't anyone in particular. You know, and even with like, you know, the kid who had the most talent as anybody in the program in 20 years was Beasley. But, you know, you want to see him succeed. You know what I mean? Because the kid just went through a lot as a kid. So, you know, and you know, sometimes, man, basketball is most of these kids' only way out, man.
Right,
you know,
right.
so it's always easy to pull one closer to you, and because they need more. You know, I used to express that, you know, when Beasley lived with Nolan and I, you know, that he didn't need what Nolan needed. He needed, you know, Nolan was fine. Nolan gonna be fine with or without basketball, but Mike needed more.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I guess you would know. You live around them. It's crazy because I had them teams over the farm. I had teams sometimes. I might have Beasley on the bench and KD on the bench. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I gave Beasley more attention based on the fact that when the whistle was over, I knew he was thinking differently, right?
Yeah.
And somebody like KD, I'm looking at your mother. She just doing a good job. She focused. You ain't down there cutting into nobody. You ain't doing no extra.
That's right.
So I kind of neglect him more on the attention side and not saying too much to him. And I was like, damn, I be thinking sometimes, like say, some little kid, they probably can't weigh the difference. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, Shorty needed more attention. Like Taiwan, I never said too much to Taiwan.
Yeah.
Nolan, of course, was cool. Taiwan played was a couple of times, but like Katie, it's like I'm like they seemed like they had it together. Like you know what I'm saying? Mike was just trying to find himself. Like you say, coming from different situation, man. But,
Mike took a lot more work though. You know, Mike, you had to. We stayed on him a lot, man. You know, just you know that's a whole nother story. But he, you know, it panned out. I mean, everything worked out. He accomplished his dream. You know, so a lot of what we did work on helped him. You know, and he went his own direction and started making his own choices and decisions, you know. So, but he made it. I mean, it was his dream.
Right, exactly. And what's the name? I know, like in since we on Mike, I'm gonna touch him later on. But since we here, like, did y'all have a fallout, or just y'all grew each other, or was just more, you know,
man, you know, I just
journeys.
You know, when you are on your way to your life about to change, you know, everything about you change. You know, I always say, you know, people love their family members, but sometimes you don't love them as much as you love him when he about to be a millionaire. You know, you everybody now, that's my cousin, that's my cousin, that's my, you know. So it became sort of a distraction. I mean, everything was going smooth, you know, but what happened was when all these people started to come into play, we had to remove ourselves away from it because the kid actions wasn't what we were used to him doing while under our roof. You know what I mean? And the kid he a kid. He got money now. He got all the cars. He can get all the women. Everything changed. And if you're not ready to be that disciplined guy and you feel now you don't want to listen to nobody because of where you are, it usually don't work out anyway. You know? So it just was a sort of I thought an equal split because, you know, people got into the kid ear. And again, I never knew what the real issue was. And maybe that's something down the road me and him will be able to talk about, you know. But to this day, I don't know how it went left or sideways. You know, I've heard a lot of things, different things, but again, none of the things that I've heard was true. You know what I mean? And as a man, I hope he's older now and one day, because I'd like to know what was his reasoning for switching up on us, you know, on our family and on me. You know, again, I put that kid, I cheated my own children to make sure he was good and make sure he got to everywhere he wanted to be and do everything he wanted to do. But again, it's no love lost. I still love the kid, you know.
Yeah, I definitely hope y'all had that conversation as grown adults because, like I say, I mentor for a living and I work with kids, so I already know that certain age, man, like they even got a rule they call the IRA Act, where those kids that got committed for murder charges actually coming home because they couldn't make long-term decisions at a young age, right? So we can't really, you know, as you already know, we can't beat them up. And like you say, you 18, 19, 21, somebody back an armored truck and say, this yours, and we gone, and pull it off. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a tough joint. But
it's hard for kids to separate who's really for them, who with them. You know, you know, they getting pussy now. You know, which that's always. They, you know, you said that. What did you say was undefeated?
I'm saying
pussy undefeated. Man, you said the streets.
You on my mind.
But that's undefeated. Man, that never lose. Much you think you beating it up, it don't lose.
You know, you're right. That's why you say that, right?
Yeah.
What's the thing? So so man, '95, man, you had 7 players. Y'all won the national championship, man. I mean, y'all played the national tournament. 7 players. I think y'all made it to the Sweet 16 or something, or one of those things.
We actually we may have had 6 players up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But during that time, I had a kid. I don't know if I can remember those kids. Damani Smith, who went to Hampton. Uh, I think Ed Sheffy.
I think Sheffield is that team.
Mike Pegues played at DeMatha, now coaching in the coaching game. Who else? Did Keith Bogans come down?
Delonte, what is it?
Delonte Hill, yeah. But I know it was only like 6 or 7, and we made it to the Final Four.
Oh, you went to
We
Final
lost
Four?
in Final Four, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost to a Richmond team.
Yeah, because y'all played my man Steven Jackson. He played with Houston something.
Yeah, Houston, yeah.
How because Shorty was 6'7", 6. He had a little wiggle and all that back then.
Yeah. Steve was the goods, you know.
Yeah.
Steve was the goods. But again, you ain't gonna have but so much wiggle against DC guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because
right.
all that we some of the first to do all that
yeah.
wiggle and crossover.
Right,
You know what I mean? So outside of New York, DC created something totally different.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? And New York had, it all, but
They had
we
the
had,
shimmy.
we had that
That
special.
special
We
sauce
had
and
hands,
crossover.
all
Right.
that. We were special. So it wasn't too much wiggling us though when it
Right.
came, because it wasn't nothing they hadn't seen before.
Right, yeah. 'Cause I know they said, I think they ended up telling that when Steven went to Oak Hill, I think him and Sheffield, somebody got real tight, and say Sheffield gave him the extra next level to the shimmy, right?
Yeah, that was his guy.
And he took it up to the next
Yeah,
level.
that
He
was
got
his guy.
He
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
add in this mix, right? Yeah, Jack, he's somebody supposed to be coming through too, man.
Is he?
Right? Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I love that. I
right.
talked to him when I came home.
Yeah.
That was that's my man.
Yeah, sure. I like to see guys that have backgrounds, tough background, they end up make the adjustment in life. You know what I'm saying? So he one of the ones I root from a distance. And my man Gary Neal, they was together in
That's right,
San Antonio.
Yes.
And they used to
Yeah.
call me late at night, talking trash. You know what I'm saying? 1 or 2 drinks or whatever. But some good kids though, right? The good kids, man. So I was told that the deed of contract came because, or the conversation came after y'all beat Lamar Odom in the Baltimore and Sonny on the phone and all that. Was that the initial start, or was it?
No, well, we
something
were
else?
with Nike.
Okay.
We ended up, John Thompson
Okay.
got us our deal
Okay.
with Nike. He called Ravlin, and Rav took care. The deal wasn't a lot. Really, I'm still coming out of pocket.
Right.
I'm eating at the time, so
Right,
you know what I mean.
right,
It wasn't
right,
nothing. We
right.
gonna go anyway. You
Right.
know what I mean. So they end up sending us a few tennis shoes and uniforms. So at that time, like I said, we was Team Assault. So what happened when we beat them? We end up getting on the phone with Sonny. So we were going to the Nike event at the end of July down at the Peach Jam. We had to go, and Sonny wanted us to come to Vegas to his event. So it was conflict of interest, but again, my man Brown got it done.
Yeah.
Troy was pissed.
Yeah.
But because Troy is a Nike guy, Troy loved Nike, and so man, we took the kids on out to Vegas, man. We Final Fours, 400 teams, lost Final Four, lost to Charlie Bell and them, the Michigan Mustangs. They were really good too, and we went on. The kids came back, then they went to Augusta, and I think they lost in the championship down at the Nike event. I think to Ronald Curry and them, I think.
Y'all won a few programs played in both. Y'all played Adidas and Nike the same.
Well, just that year.
Just
And
that
then,
year?
Yeah, so then we had to make a decision, man, what we wanted to do. And Troy was taking a job, so it wasn't that hard of a issue at that point, because Troy was leaving. So me and Brown didn't have to fight with Troy, you know. So, I mean, being who we were, me and Mike,
Right. Make it
street
happen,
guys
make it happen,
who
anything
don't want
necessary,
who
right.
don't want to be with Sonny Vaccaro.
Right, yeah,
You
right.
know, this is the
I was gonna
man.
say,
This is the
Sonny,
Godfather
Sonny,
right
like
here.
He a mafioso boss,
Look,
man.
and who don't want to be a part of that?
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So, he promised, hey, I'm gonna take care of you guys. You my guys. Ooh, and then we were just seeing everything unfold. We was looking at how Kobe and Tracy and all these dudes, the shoe deal thing was going there. And we had the next thing cracking there. We had Lamar Johnson. Outside Lamar, DJ was the next thing, So we went on with Sonny, man, and it was a great relationship, And DJ never got the shoe deal that we thought he would get. But again, all the politics kick in certain time you just don't know about.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because that's, like I say, Sonny, every time I seen him from a distance, of course, I was never in his presence, I say, man, yeah, like he part of one of them families, man.
Yeah.
The way he moved, the way he talked, you know what I'm saying? He was so sure of himself that he was about to Phil Knight in them, man. That was a hell of a rumble right there, man.
Yeah, that's all he wanted to do is beat them.
That
That's
was
what
his
our
goal.
meetings was. I don't give a damn what it take. Just beat them MFers. You know what I mean? Like, I would, if I want a kid here, I'd be like, Sonny, I need a few pair of shoes. Shit, he sent a kid 12 boxes. I mean, all gear, everything.
Right.
Kids like, yeah, I sent all that. Right. Like, yeah.
Right. And he understood the language probably being from wherever he came from, his background. And them small little things like that mean so much. You know what I'm saying? People think you got to back an armored truck up. Just small little subtle stuff like that is crazy. And I heard Gilbert Reeves them talking about DJ recently, man. They talk as DJ as if, man, he was like a Michael Jordan coming up through that time, man.
DJ was different, man. I have an article where they were saying DJ may be the first player to leave high school early, 11th grade. I mean, DJ was good. It's a lot of things when I look back that we could have done. DJ was before his time. DJ was 6'9" guard. People's like, why he don't play in? He never played in the post. He never played in the post. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when you just look at guys now that's in the league, I mean, 6'8", 6'9" guys. What DJ do now is the norm.
It's a norm.
It's normal nowadays. These guys 6'8", 6'9",
He was an alien back then, though.
He was an alien.
Yeah. What's your opinion about ranking fourth graders and fifth graders? What's your opinion about that? Ranking them?
Well, all that stuff is a business, Bone.
Okay.
People paying for these services, man, to see their kid name on this stuff, man. How could you get caught up in a kid that's in the fourth grade? It's been some names of some kids that's been top everything and you ain't never heard of them again. Or if you pull up most of those lists, if somebody had if they can go back in the archives and pull up old rankings, I would bet you if you pulled up a 6th grade ranking, you probably never heard from most of those kids once they got to 11th grade. It might be a few names in there that but that stuff to me, that don't matter, man.
And what's your opinion, the pros and the cons with the reclassification?
Well, one thing is the pros is that everybody doing it. So it's not like one kid doing it. I mean, we used to know a kid going to prep school or two guys. Now, every kid in the area has repeated. So I don't know what, if there is a con to it because it's the normal. This is what they doing now. Kids are graduating at 20 years old, man.
Okay. And what you think? What's the as far as the AAU stuff, like, right? What you think is the most positive thing about the AAU, and then what you think the most worst thing about AAU?
Well,
if it's the worst.
Well, I think that a lot of AAU teams have guys that have a lot of. You'll get a lot of former players. You'll get a lot of street guys who want to do it. So I think some programs are a little too lenient. I think they kiss the players' ass today. Because now it's a business. Everybody want to kiss the player butt who is great. Nobody want to coach the kids. So for me, it's just different. Like, and I can only speak for me. I was always tough on the best players in my program. I didn't care who you was. I set an example by getting you. So if you're the best player, I'm gonna make you the example to scare all the other ones.
Right.
But nowadays they cater to the best one. And it's a big business now, man.
Right. Because a lot of the former NBA players and sports announcers, they kill the AAU when you hear them getting these shows and all that.
AAU is not it's just like high school. You got good high school coaches and you got bad high school coaches. Back in the day, high school coaches was the one getting paid. High school coach asked for a Cadillac in a minute for a player. Back in the 70s, early 80s, the high school players the high school coaches ran everything. Nowadays, the AAU guys run it, but the AAU guys put probably the most time in. You know, like, I probably got criticized, but I'm the one that's getting the kid out of jail. I'm the one taking him to his probation officer. I'm the one got to make sure he eat when he go home. And a lot of times they don't because they work at the school all day. And most time they got their own family that they attend to. So, and for us, we spreaded our arms, and I had to make sure the right people were around to make sure we mentoring the kids and giving them what they need. So, but the game has just changed so much now, man.
Yeah, I can contest to that. 'Cause I used to sit him down there again with little clothes, little joints.
Yeah.
Look out for Shaw. He gonna be good. He gonna be this and all this. So you did a lot of behind the scene work that probably not gonna show up in the stat book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You was giving out NIL deals back then. Before now they got it going on now. We was doing that in the early 90s, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My kids would have on all day stuff. They be loaded. You know what I mean? Like, and now they getting paid to wear this stuff now.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's crazy, man. But man, with all your recruiting, man, I seen you chase junior high games down church league. Yeah, how the hell you miss KD? Why he wasn't
I didn't miss
BCSO?
him. I didn't miss him. That was my number one target. But Wanda wouldn't let me get him. She wouldn't let him come on over to me, man. I don't know why, man. Me and Wanda we got really cool. We were always real good, you know.
Right.
I take my hat off to her and what she did, man.
From a parent standpoint.
Yeah, from a parent standpoint. I'm going to tell you how deep it go. Kevin dad grew up on my street in Palmer Park. So I knew I was getting him.
Right.
When I seen the father over at the junior high, I went to see Navarro
Right.
and see the father. That's my son right there. Who? The tall one. I said, what? Oh, man, I'm in the car. I'm happy. I got Durant.
Okay.
But Wanda wasn't going for it.
Right, yeah.
Me and Wanda done been to lunch. Me and Wanda to talk. I done been to the house, home visit, everything.
Right.
But, she, and one thing I also think that with Kevin, what they wanted too, I think they always wanted Kevin to be the headliner. Even though he would have been the headliner. But again, being on the team with Mike and Nolan and every night you might not be the headliner. And the way we coach the kids, or I had my guys coach them, I'm not going to let you take any shot you want. I'm not, so I think they wanted Kevin to be
Free range.
yeah, and at the end of the day, it ended up being the right decision.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it all panned out.
Yeah, because I know the streets. Just like I say, I always talk about his mother too, and a lot of, and my little mentor and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because man, she did a phenomenal job. I mean, obviously, father, I don't know what Roddy did. He might did a phenomenal job too, but I kind of seen her in the game come down Bury Farm. You seen her, right?
Yes.
But it was always rumored on the street. They would say that, man, you ain't give him a pair of tennis shoes or something, or they asked for some tennis shoes.
That's not true because actually I did give him shoes, and I only gave the dad shoes for Kevin because Kevin's feet was really
Right,
big.
but I heard
Kevin was in like 7th grade.
Okay.
So, but I didn't give him shoes then because of who Kevin. Because in 7th grade, Kevin Durant wasn't that good, man,
Right.
honestly speaking. But he was so tall and wiry, long. You could just see, and he liked to shoot the ball. And then again, the guy Stink at the rec did a great job with Kevin, man. I mean, Kevin became a player, man. He transformed into something special. But it definitely wasn't that. I mean, like I said, me and Wanda had a great. Kevin could have had all the shoes he wanted. The truck would have backed up. If I had called Sonny Vaccaro and said the mother and them probably could have got stock in Adidas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So not at all though. No, that definitely wasn't the case. And when I did with the dad, I did it because me and Wayne grew up together.
Okay.
On the same block. So it wasn't no strings attached. But I knew I had to go through Wanda to get it.
Right. Wanda was the big dog.
Oh, Wanda was it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Wanda.
Yeah, Wanda was sheriff, Jack.
Shout out to Wanda.
Yeah.
And speaking of KD, one thing on him. So did you see the piece he did on Showtime?
Yeah, I did.
What was your opinion about that?
I thought it was a good piece. I was telling a few people who asked about it. I thought that it probably could have been a 2 or 3 piece thing because there's a lot of people I think that probably could have got some recognition, But I thought it was good, piece on the county. I thought it gave us some good exposure. which of course everybody kind of know. Well, I guess they don't, but there's so many players come from this area, man.
Right,
that,
yeah.
You know, if they don't know directly, you know, they know indirectly, and then when they seen that piece, it really opened their eyes to who PG County is.
Because I actually was seeing some of the behind the scenes editing. You know what I'm saying? Kirk Frazier did some little work on there behind the scenes, and I was looking. I was like, damn, it's a lot of other pros in that PG came out of that area. And I was like giving names that, well, I guess, you know, they had their vision, you know what I'm saying? It ended up being a nice piece. It showed the journey, you know what I'm saying, you know, what was going on out there. So it was, you know, I overall liked it also, but I just thought it was a lot of more pros that could have been or short.
It could have been.
They asked him to go, like you say, do a two or three part and really give him a lot more spicy wings out there, George, you know what I'm saying?
I thought so too. I thought so too. But overall, I thought it was a good piece, and especially for Jimmy Jenkins and those guys, you know, for doing that piece.
Jimmy, shout out to Jimmy and Heat, man.
Yes.
Shorty's a little hard worker,
yes,
man.
Yes, he is, man. He's a grinder,
the
man.
pastor's son, man.
Yes,
I always mess with him. Man. I said, man, give me some of that money y'all getting out there, man. That's a big church. A lot of stuff going on here. Good kid,
yes,
though.
Man, he is, man. And Pastor Jenkins, man, he raised a good kid, man. That kid is, him and his brother, his sister too. They great kids, man. So.
Right, yeah.
Out the park, niggas know me. Curtbone, little homie. All days, yeah. Been a road.